Hello and welcome back to the Counselor's Happy Hour. I'm your host, Miss Pauline. I want to start this video by expressing my gratitude for you guys for staying with us since the beginning of our podcast. Thank you so much for your support. Every month, we release videos that cover the journey of my teenage students regarding their well-being and personal growth. Normally, I have a deep conversation with a student, but this time it is special episode. I have my podcast crew here answering the questions about life and love. Yes, that's the topic for our episode.
One, two, three, four.
Okay, everyone, how are you feeling right now?
Great.
Great. Are you nervous?
No.
No. So right now you are in the position of those guests who are in our podcast. Right now it's your turn. Okay. All right. So today I'm here with my podcast crew. They are the ones who make this channel happen. First of all, thank you so much, guys, for helping me since like January. It's been around like 5 months. Okay, talk about love and life. I'll start with the one of the most Google question. Also, like people ask this a lot. What is the meaning of life for you guys? Yes.
I don't know.
You have to think about it.
I don't know.
Meaning of life.
I can go first.
Yes, Dito.
I think the meaning of life for me is essentially using the most of my time to do the most meaningful things in my life. For example, that would be religion, to me at least. Because I do believe in Allah. I'm a Muslim. And I think that's one of my passions at least. And that kind of serves as a meaning of life to me.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
No.
Nobody can follow up to that.
Hey, don't tell me you cannot answer this question. You are good in answering those
Yeah, I can
IB
answer.
subjects, guys.
Jigan.
Yes, Jing'an.
Meaning of life for me is experiences, like unique experiences, once in a lifetime experiences, and how do I say it? Whether you want it or not, it's going to happen anyway. So just make the most out of everything that happens. Maybe you can learn like major life lessons due to what happens to you.
Okay. Yeah.
I agree with that.
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
the other members deserve something to speak at least.
Oh my god.
Don't you guys
I
think?
don't know.
No.
Come on.
No.
What's the question? What is life?
What is life?
What's the purpose
What
of
is
life?
life?
Meaning of life.
What is
I feel like it's just making use of your time as much as possible. You can take your time, but don't waste it. As much as possible, try to do the things that you want to experience. And if some bad things happen in your life, that doesn't mean it shouldn't be part of it. It's still gonna contribute to the future, at least. So I feel like life is subjective for everyone, and as much as possible, people should just experience the things that they want to as much as possible. So
Okay. All right. Move on to the next question. We often hear that in order to be successful, you need to have passion. Yeah, maybe for me, because I'm an adult, I've been into like job interviews, and I know, like, for example, in job interviews, we can say, yeah, because I'm passionate in this field. And also in schools, we are taught to find our passion. Do you think passion is enough?
no,
No,
I agree. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
not enough. Why do you think so?
I think we need hard work too.
Yeah.
Other than passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
For
also
the
need
efforts.
to be patient, like
Yeah.
patient and passion.
Patient and passion.
I'd also maybe add the drive. Because hold on. As most successful people are also, they're habitually diligent, and they're determined to complete their daily task every day. And to this, you must achieve it using some sort of drive. And maybe it's to drive for, let's say, power in some other cases, or the fuel to be much greater than you are today, being better than yourself yesterday. And each time they repeat this daily habit over time, it becomes sort of their identity to become much more stronger or powerful at their own skills. And I think that's why passion is not sufficient, because you also need that drive inside you, that dog in you.
Yeah, but how do you differentiate passion and drive?
Because passion is something that you're more, I would say, it's something that you are naturally born with. I would say drive is something that you have to build. It's sort of like that determination that you get after every loss or after every failure. You have to convince yourself that you want to do it more and more. So it becomes more of a drive than instead of a passion, because drive is something that you do even if you don't have the motivation for it. That you do every day.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to put this.
Yeah, guys, so passion itself is not enough. Yeah, you also have to have the drive and the perseverance, even though you're not motivated to do it.
To be honest, even if you don't have passion, you can still work hard on something. Because technically, like, passion can still die. Say, for example, you're really into something and then you just, like, kind of fail at it and you just give up because you failed too many times and you're just tired. But you're still working hard for it, and you still get the good grades or bad grades, whatever it is. Even without passion, you can still work hard. But there's definitely a difference between passion in regards to achieving something, because you still need to work hard for it.
Okie dokie. Okay.
I
Well
agree.
said. Okay, so next question. If you could have time machine and go back to any moment of your childhood years, which moment would you choose and why?
I think this question deserves an answer from someone who hasn't spoken yet.
Yes, Matthew.
I think I'm gonna tell my younger self that I need to study math.
Oh, okay. So, like, if you can go back to your younger self, like, when was it like you struggled with math? You remember?
6th grade.
6th grade?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So if you could go back to time, you would go back to that age and study math harder. Okay. Yes. Anyone?
Anyone else?
No, before COVID.
Before COVID?
I had the most fun before COVID.
Yeah. Totally understand that.
It was nice. It was definitely an experience that I'd like to relive. Of course, there are some bad moments along the way, but it was definitely nicer during that time compared to now.
Can you get that kind of experience back again? Like right now, it's COVID. Like it's almost like nothing happened.
I mean, probably you can, but I feel like our mindset kind of changed after that. It's like, for some reason, being alone with yourself in your room is not really something that a lot of people had to go through when it was like just a normal day, you know? Because during COVID, we had to quarantine ourselves. So technically, we spent more time alone than we did with our friends during those 3-year period. So yeah, that kind of sucked. So yeah, so when we went back to normal, something still changed. It's just like it didn't feel the same, but we had to be more cautious about everything else, and we had to kind of like deal with the change in regards to our mindset, because back then we grew up together. So we basically had like, most of us had the same opinion, or maybe we had the same background in regards to teaching, but we kind of grew apart throughout those years of quarantine. So it was a good thing, because we kind of formed our own opinions and or our own interpretations. But as that went on, it kind of like made us feel more individualistic. So Because I remember being an extrovert before COVID, and after COVID happened, I just didn't talk to people as much as I did back then.
Yeah.
It was so bad, but I guess I'm kind of back.
Okay. So guys, if you could have a conversation with your younger self, yeah, you're still young, but your younger self, what advice would you give?
Don't play Osu. Worst mistake of my life. I'm just joking. Of course, there are some parts I regret. You know, obviously, it's not the wisest decision to spend your entire childhood on a game. Obviously, so I believe I would start off the conversation with that. Don't play too much. You know.
Don't play too much.
I don't know. I guess study more or like discover more things to learn about. Because like during your childhood, you have so much time to discover more stuff. Instead of now in IB, we're so busy we can't do our hobbies anymore, man.
You're busy with assignment, you don't even think about yourself.
Yeah.
But we develop our conscience much later at life, so it's harder to be serious back then compared to now.
Yes.
But I feel like back then we tried so hard to be serious. Like we tried to be someone older than our own age.
we tried to be
It was
mature.
so bad. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like looking back, of course, it's just like maybe in that moment you thought that you were like mature, but looking back, it was so cringy. Like don't do that. Just live your life as your age.
Yeah.
If you're 10, act as a 10-year-old. Don't try to act as if you're older. It's very bad for you.
Yeah. What was it that like kids nowadays try to act like mature people?
I see that a lot now.
Like-
it kind of pains me.
You know, like dating or what? Or like what kind of way?
I feel like a lot of kids try to fit into their like
Surroundings.
society.
Yeah.
Like if their friends start cursing, they want to join in
Yeah.
and curse too. And if something like it's like following influence, following the trends and all that stuff. So it's kind of a bad influence in my opinion.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's also the prevalence of the social media icon agitate. A lot of people want to be like it.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other advice?
To my past self,
Yeah.
Just live your life.
be yourself.
Live your life, be yourself.
That's so real though.
But it's true. It's true.
Like
Yeah,
back then, you couldn't really form a personality. You're just following other people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm hungry, guys.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the other pesanan belum datang. So, okay, we can just move on. If you could give a TED Talk about teenage life,
Wow.
TEDx,
Waduh.
SGIA.
Oh, yeah. Whatever happened to that? That SGI.
I think it got postponed, right? We were supposed to have it that out.
Yeah. Maybe when you're in grade 12.
No,
So
thank
you have to prepare right now.
I don't think so.
If you could give a TED Talk about teenage life, what topic would you choose and what would be your main message?
Teenage life, message.
Mm.
No idea.
I don't know. I haven't lived through most of my teenage life, so I can't.
Yeah, like so far.
No ideas in particular.
Yeah. How do you not live your life?
Yeah, exactly.
Do not live your life like this.
It's more of I would say how to deal with like your surroundings probably, because I think that's a message that should be spread more to people younger than me.
How to deal with your surroundings?
Yeah.
You mean like in friendship or?
Less of the bad influence.
Yeah, and friendship as well, in relationships.
Yeah, talking about influence, how do you consider certain things are bad influence for you?
When something in 10 or 20 years would be negatively affecting your life, I would say. Maybe it's different
Yeah, I
for
agree.
you guys.
It's a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some of these bad influences don't start to reveal themselves until much later on at life, especially with smoking cigarettes, right? For example. Anything else?
No. What's the question again?
What do you consider a negative influence?
Negative influence.
Right.
Because right now it's you know, with like, you know, people have different kinds of, you know, how to measure the bad things, bad influence, negative influence, or positive influence. For you, how do you like differentiate, consider, filter?
This feels like a TOK question.
Yeah.
Or how about the mainstream media, for example?
What? The what?
The mainstream media.
I mean,
It depends.
the more people see it as bad, the more likely you are to see it as bad as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my god, on Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, and those behaviors are kind of enforced in certain like platforms. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah, guys. I think that's all the questions about life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
It's still about life. Okay. Yeah.
It's like
Okay, I think
hold on.